might have rectified itself for that man's team. They might have found their way back into top seed. They've got a lot of injuries to deal with. He listed them all out. Fall, Milutinov, Fournier, Vildoza, Walcott, all missing. But Keenan Evans, who's not played since last May after undergoing surgery, is listed on the roster tonight. Will he get any minutes? What a comeback that would be for him if he could find his way out onto court. Well, one of the most recognizable faces on the Olympiacos roster, joined in 2020, Shaquille McKissick. He's been to 3 Final Fours, runner-up 2 years ago. He'd be desperate to lift the title this year. Alec Peters, one of the most accurate three-point shooters in the competition. He doesn't take too many, but when he does, they tend to go in. Don't lose him on the three-point line. Well, Coach Kayas, what a wonderful start to the career he had here as head coach, but it's been tough since then. No Spinolo, no Lafayette for ALBA Berlin this evening. And, well, that thumping they had last week, everybody was looking for the record books, weren't they? They want to get the taste of that out of their mouth before this season is finished in European competition. That's for certain. That was a humbling. Matt Thomas been in double figures every round since round 22. That is why he is the top scorer for ALBA Berlin this season. 12.5 points per game, and as I say, consistently scoring over the last 10-11 rounds. Martin Hermansen started in excellent form beginning of the season, but missed a chunk of games in the middle. That really hurt his rhythm. He's never quite got back to the scoring output that we saw in the first 7 or 8 rounds. Yanni Wetzel, creditable 11 points per game, but up against one of the best in the business. The MVP from 2023 is in that conversation again this time around. And his numbers, as ever, have been sensational. It wouldn't be a great shock to see him claim a second MVP award. Here are the numbers. The two teams, you can see ALBA just don't really score enough. Tough to win at this level, scoring under 79 points per game. They also turn the ball over more than anybody else, and even worse than scoring 79 points per game is giving up the thick end of 92. And well, we saw last week that defense can be an issue at times. Two coaches very much at differing ends of their Euroleague career. In their first meeting between them, Coach Botsakas with 1 championship to his name. Will he get a second here this season? They will have a very good chance of it come playoff time. Whether they finish first or second, you feel like they are going to be a team that you're going to have to knock out yourself. They're not going to beat themselves with all the talent that they have. It's whether they can get them all out on the court is another question. It's a massive injury list, but there aren't too many teams that look as good as they do on paper, despite all that injury issues that they've currently got to deal with. Well, the two teams head to the sidelines. We get set to introduce the two teams. Olympiacos were rattling along nicely at the top of the table. Looked like they were going to cruise to #1 seed, but then suddenly, after they won that Greek derby against Panathinaikos at home, things started to go a little awry. They lost at home to Crvena Zvezda in round 30, then went on the road, lost to Asvel, that was a big surprise, although Asvel were having their celebration of their European history that night. I think there was something in the air in Villeurbanne that night. But then Monaco went to Piraeus a couple of days later and beat Olympiacos, and it was at that point you thought, oh, they've lost this opportunity to finish the #1 seeds when it looked theirs for the taking. But they've been given a second reprieve at it here with that Barcelona victory a couple of nights ago. And I'm sure they will want to grasp that with 2 hands and make sure that they go in as top dogs. Lights go down. We are set to introduce the home team here at the Uber Arena. As the team comes out, they draw a curtain on a difficult campaign here. Just 5 wins to show for the season, 3-13 in this building. They are, as the statistics showed you, the lowest scoring team in this competition. They have the worst point differential as well, over 400 points difference across the course of the season. They're closing in on 3,000 points against. Only Maccabi, who played 1 more game than them, have given up more points this season. That won't be the case by the end of the night. At the end of the night, they'll be bottom of that category again. And that is, well, a combination that's tough to deal with. If you don't score enough and you give up too many, it leads to you finishing bottom of the standings. But can they sign off in style here? They'll definitely want an improved performance from last week. They've obviously played a domestic game since then, but on the European stage, that was the last we saw of them, and it wasn't the best of them. And the coaches have met. The 2 teams will as well. Here is the starting lineup for Olympiacos. Williams, Goss, Lever, Zenkov, Papanikolaou, and Wright. As I say, they're not quite as deep in the bench as they usually are. Not quite as much size as they usually have, but still a lot of talent. Procida, Delo, Hermansen, Schneider, and McCormack for the home team. 3 officials getting themselves ready for this contest as well as our excellent table crew that keep on top of everything. Well, talking about his MVP credentials, you're #1 in index rating. That means all the stats added together, you're #1. Obviously, TJ Shorts seems to win every MVP wherever he plays every year. He'll definitely be in the conversation as well. Well, important for ALBA to start this game well. I don't want the ghosts of last week to flare up by getting behind big early on. Well, here they come then, the two teams out onto the floor for ALBA Berlin one last time. And for Olympiacos, a chance for #1, a chance to step one step closer to being the regular season leaders and the #1 seed going into the playoffs. 2 wins is all they need. Victory here tonight and then at home in round 34 against Maccabi. So 2 of the bottom 3, that's what you would set up, I guess, to finish it off and secure #1 seed. But it's not played on paper, it's played out there on the hardwood. And if they want to, they've absolutely dominated the first half here. Olympiacos, we're at the break. It's ALBA Berlin 46, Olympiacos Piraeus 61 in the second half. But they've given themselves such a platform that even 40 points in the second half is probably enough to win. Sights and sounds here in Berlin. We're at the Uber Arena. It's the penultimate round of action in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. It's the final home game of the season for ALBA Berlin, but it is not going according to their script. It's very much been dominated by the league leaders. The team currently sitting in first, and the team who, with 2 wins in the last 2 rounds, will end the season in first place in the Euroleague. Olympiacos with a 15-point halftime lead. Jacques got the performance of the second quarter, 13 index rating. Well, 55-65 is a 9-4 start, but it's enough to force a timeout. Time now for your Turkish Airlines flight time up. Well, this, as I say, would be one of the most remarkable victories of the Euroleague season. The team bottom of the standings, trailing at home by 21 points in the first half on the back of a 40-point drubbing in their last outing. If they were to somehow win this game, well, even the fact it's a possibility here with 5 minutes to play pushes credulity, to be honest with you.